Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist. We're talking about what race is. Part 2. We went into the mitochondrial DNA in the last video. Ended with that, talking about how mitochondrial DNA proves beyond a shadow of a doubt to everyone, the entire science community for the last few decades, that we have all be descended from one woman, one Eve. Okay, there was more Eves. It's just their lineages all died out. Only one lineage survived. Okay, the Y chromosome from the man. There's a whole bunch of them. There's no. There are a whole bunch of dudes involved in the lineages, and not only that, some of those just on going on a tangent here. Some of those were actually different species. They weren't like Homo sapiens today aren't actually pure Homo sapiens. There were like either 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even more. I don't know. But there were about 3 or 4 or 5 different species that were around during that time, like the Homo sapien, the Neanderthal. I can't remember the other ones, but there were more than 2. Okay, there was at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 other species total. They all intermingled. Okay, like the Neanderthals, I'm guessing, were around the Netherlands. The name sounds familiar, and that's where you'll find a lot of people, have a lot more Neanderthal DNA. They have like up to 2% Neanderthal DNA. There's people around the Netherlands compared to the rest of the world that just has a smaller fraction of Neanderthal DNA. But all the species just, whatever. That's where, but there's only one woman. That means we are all descended from that one woman. Okay? So we are all related. Everyone. It's what the different colors are, skin colors. They're not different species. They're just different families. Just like a dog has a German Shepherd and a whatever. You know what I mean? They're just different families. They're still dogs. They're the same damn species. You know what I mean? But this family over here, they're Dachshunds. These family over here, they're German Shepherds. This family over here, Great Danes. Okay? That's why families look more similar than they do to the whole group, right? And that's what black people, white, red, whatever you want to call them, right? The whole human race is one family, right? We're all related by incest. But you have families within a family, right? Just like you have a mom, dad, and kids, and then that's your primary family. And you have a secondary family, your cousins, your aunts and uncles and that, right? Well, humanity would be like the secondary family, and the primary family would be your skin color. The blacks and whatever, they're all related more than they are to the whites. The whites are related more to each other, but they're all black. White people are just black people that over time, you have. See, when you start out with a species, you have no diversity, okay? And then over time, you get more and more and more and more diverse, right? You used to have probably just one type of bear, right? Then now you've got brown bears, you got black bears, you got polar bears, koala bears, all kind of bears. Bears are, didn't start out where you had all these different types of bears. No, it started out with one bear, and then he diversified through time, right? Through mutations and this and that, right? Just like any species does, right? So you got the black people in Africa. They are not diverse. They have really dark skin, big wide nose, big lips. The hair is frizzy, right? Then in northern Africa, right here, over on the east side, right, you have some mutations. The black people there have thin noses. The hair isn't as kinky. It's more white, you know what I mean, like a white person. The lips are thin. These people, this family migrated to like the Indian area, right? Where you ever notice, like in the Indian area, they look like they're black, but they got thin lips and they got the white hair or whatever and the thinner nose. Yeah. And basically, you just have mutations and you get more diverse. Just like a probably started out as a brown bear, and now you got black bears, you got white bears and the polar bears. You got this and that. It's the same way. Some kind of mutation or some kind of thing happened where it was more beneficial to be white or more beneficial to be less black, and so that that group grew more, and that trait grew more predominant. You know what I mean? Just like in polar bears, used to be the the Arctic or whatever where the polar bears are. It used to be jungle there. Most of the this as cold as we are, it's never been this cold. Like most of the time, we are not in an ice age like we are today. I know they don't want you to think that, but yeah. So, yeah. Then the brown bear just, the lighter bears, right? They could be hidden more with the snow, right? So and then the hair just got lighter and lighter by natural, selection on how they mated, right? If the lighter bears are surviving, then that whiteness trait is going to be more predominant in the new group now. The same way with humans, man. So we're all the same race. Well, we're not all the same race, but we're all the same species. We're all the same family is the thing I want you to understand too, though. So we know that we're all related, but what is race? Race doesn't mean like this thing where people say the human race. That's stupid, man. Because we're all the same species. We're not all the same race. Okay. The Germans are a race. Remember, you got to be with region, speech, and government, right? The Germans, they're a race. The Americans. So what does that mean about Americans? And by Americans, I mean United States of America citizens. Are we a race? Yes, we're a freaking race. We're the American race, you fuck. But you people, you out there, you love the deep state so much. And the deep state, the only thing they want for the people, other than to destroy us and take our money, is to divide us. Because if we're not divided into little boxes, then, we can't fight them. Right? If we're all united, then we can fight them. Right? Because they're just a couple people, but they have all the power. But we're the population, the entire population. So if we ain't divided and we're united, we can literally stop them. We can stop it. We can stop every war. There would be no war ever again if you just stop the deep state. They instigate it. They do precursor things like 9/11, Lusitania, Pearl Harbor, and all that kind of crap. They instigate that stuff so that and get it going so that they can have their little war. So why don't we say that Americans are all the same race? I tell people this and they call me names and stuff. I'm an idiot. We're not all a race. What do you think a race is? Why is the German race a race and we're not? Because we have different skin colors. Skin color has nothing to do with race. Unless you're a racist and you use this other racist definition that, skin color denotes different races. That doesn't, no. So how does the deep state, they need us to be in these many boxes. And what's funny is the deep state, they only have two boxes. It's the deep state and the people that are puppeted, deep state people, and everybody else. Two boxes. They don't divide anyone up into religion, skin, none of this crap, man. That's why they win. Because they know who the enemy is. We don't. We think that each other are the enemy. They have their race hustlers, their gender hustlers, their sexist hustlers. We fight. We have boxes about men in little girls' bathrooms and changing rooms. Now we have boxes for that. Who's for it? Who's against it? Now we got boxes for, some people say men and women are exactly the same. Some people say they're different. We got boxes again. Now we're dividing up into. And even women and men who identify as trans women are exactly alike. Now we got 2 boxes. Some people agree, some people don't. We're fighting over the dumbest things, and they're laughing. The dumber the thing is, the more they're laughing at us. You know what I mean? They're up in their mansions, right? Sitting on their throne, having their royal life, laughing about how we're arguing, because some people think that a woman and a man identifying as a trans woman is the same exact thing. You know, and I'm laughing about it, and I'm getting screwed over by it. It's so funny. It's so hilarious. You know what I mean? It goes back to the same thing, as you notice in a lot of my videos. It always goes back to the same thing. Division. They want division, so we don't unite and destroy the deep state. Okay? And what's funny is the entire planet, since the beginning of time, we're all related. All of us. But yet we cannot unite against the part of our family that is horrible, horrible inbred royalty, right? They're so inbred and they've been so entitled their entire existence that they're so evil they make the devil look like a good man, okay? They make Hitler look like a good guy, all right? Because no, Hitler wasn't part of the deep state. He was a puppet of Prescott Bush and J.D. Rockefeller. They're the ones who funded it. They're the ones who gave him the jet fuel additive that no one else had on the planet. Without it, Hitler would have no Air Force. None. If it wasn't for J.D. Rockefeller and Prescott Bush, which is George Bush's dad, the president, George Bush. See how much time I got left here. 3 minutes. So, I just want to reiterate that we are, as Americans, we are the same race. Okay? And people need to start saying it, that we are the same race. Okay? And going back to the old definition of race, which is still the definition. I bet you $1 million if I Googled what is race, define race, I guarantee you it comes up saying that you got to have the same country, the same region, the same language, pretty much, the same government, and then you're considered a race. Even today, that definition still stands, but yet no one wants to use it because they're all racist pieces of garbage. They got the skin color thing up their fucking ass. They can't think about anything unless it's got skin color attached to it. So of course they can't use a definition that doesn't have skin color attached to it. I mean, how could they be racist if they can't attach skin color to everything? That's what they're saying. I can't be racist if I use that definition. There's no skin color involved. Just like the transatlantic, since I got babbling, just like the transatlantic slave route. It was the rich people, black people in Africa, that enslaved the poor blacks, and then the rich people in the United States went over and bought the poor Africans off of the rich Africans, and they came back here and they sold the African slaves to the elite U.S. people. Notice how I didn't use skin color at all? Not one time did I mention skin color. Not one time. Because it had nothing to do. It had to do with the rich people enslaving the poor people in Africa, and then the rich people in the United States going over and buying them and selling them in the United States. And nothing to do with skin color. But you racist pieces of garbage always have to. That's how you know when you're a racist piece of shit. Because every goddamn thing that you think about and everything that you fucking perceive in the world has to do with skin color. I know a dude, he has a hot as ass, black dude, white chick, hot as ass. Hot, young. Walking through an amusement park, like, whatever, and dudes are looking, and he's like, these people are racist. They don't like intermixed couples.
Oh, no, it wasn't because your girlfriend's hot and young? Oh, it wasn't because of that. That's because they're all racist.